The ongoing saga between Nancy Liberman and Jeff Teague has just reached a boiling point, and this time, the stakes are higher than ever. What started as a simple disagreement about Caitlin Clark's abilities has morphed into a full-blown feud with personal jabs, career evaluations, and a heated exchange of words. The trigger: Teague's recent comments about Clark, which have ignited a firestorm, and Liberman's sharp response that left no room for doubt. The controversy began when Teague boldly declared that Caitlin Clark, despite her obvious talents, was just a good player, not a great player. These comments didn't sit well with many, especially Liberman, who immediately pushed back, defending Clark's skills and accomplishments. Liberman didn't hesitate to make her feelings known, saying, "Jeff, I love you, but you weren't a great player." A sharp and direct statement, one that clearly wasn't meant to be ignored. It didn't stop there. Liberman went on to critique Teague's own career, pointing out that while he made an all-star appearance, it was hardly enough to qualify him as a great player. With sarcasm dripping from her words, Liberman added, "You were serviceable," a statement that not only questioned Teague's judgment but also effectively diminished his argument. The weight of her words carried far more impact than Teague might have expected, turning the conversation into something far more personal. The tension between Liberman and Teague didn't just remain about Clark's abilities. It quickly escalated when Teague subtly took a personal shot at Liberman's son. His comment was not only unnecessary but also completely irrelevant to the original debate. However, instead of backing down, Liberman stood firm, refusing to let her points be overshadowed by a petty personal attack. Her response wasn't just an analysis. It was a takedown that would leave anyone in her path rethinking their approach. While Liberman had her say, Teague's rebuttal was far from subtle. Rather than acknowledging the validity of Liberman's arguments, Teague attempted to downplay his comments, saying, "I ain't going to fry you. I just said I think she's good, not great." However, in an unfortunate move, Teague doubled down on his remarks, dismissing Caitlin Clark's skills and questioning her impact on the Indiana Fever. He also couldn't resist taking another swipe at Liberman, making a veiled reference to her son. What followed was a full-on media frenzy. Fans, analysts, and commentators began to dissect Teague's words, with many criticizing his selective analysis of Clark's game. Teague had previously gone on multiple podcasts, claiming that the Fever played better without Clark, and that she was somehow a liability to the team. These comments sparked outrage, positioning Teague as one of Clark's most vocal critics. His repeated attempts to downplay Clark's value only served to fuel the fire, and Liberman's defense of Clark felt like a timely rebuttal that could not be ignored. As the feud intensified, Liberman's stance only gained more support. Her comments about Clark, "She's not just a good player, she's great," hit a nerve, particularly when paired with the evidence of Clark's performance. Liberman reminded everyone that Clark wasn't just an effective player. She was breaking records as a rookie and playing with a level of skill and vision that set her apart. Liberman's defense wasn't just about defending Clark's talent, it was about recognizing greatness where it was due. She pointed out that Teague, despite his decent career, had no grounds to dismiss Clark's contributions. "You weren't a great player," Liberman added bluntly, making it clear that Teague's criticism of Clark was misinformed. The controversy took a strange turn when Teague tried to deflect by suggesting that Clark's absence from the Fever's lineup somehow improved the team. "Without her, the Fever play better," he said, a statement that only added more fuel to the already heated debate. Teague's attempt to justify his remarks didn't go unnoticed by Liberman or the fans. The idea that the Fever were somehow better without their star player was met with immediate backlash. Liberman was quick to respond, pointing to Clark's undeniable impact on the team's performance. In fact, statistics from the Fever's season backed Liberman's defense. With Clark on the court, the Fever had a winning record, but without her, the team struggled, making it clear that Clark's absence was not a positive for the team's performance. Teague's narrative that the Fever were better off without Clark was quickly debunked by the team's performance. Despite their success in recent games, the record showed that the Fever were far more competitive with Clark on the court. Liberman, alongside many other analysts and fans, made it clear that Clark's leadership and skill were critical to the Fever's chances, and no amount of commentary from Teague could change that. In a particularly dramatic twist, Teague's inconsistency became apparent when he was confronted with old footage where he had praised Clark, calling her the best, and predicting she would have a career akin to LeBron James in terms of stats. The juxtaposition of these two conflicting opinions from Teague made him appear disingenuous and opportunistic. Fans and analysts alike started questioning his motivations. Was he simply chasing relevance, or was he genuinely assessing Clark's skills? This inconsistency only added more fuel to the fire, with Liberman's harsh response now appearing even more justified in the eyes of the public. The debate raged on, with more people coming to Clark's defense, citing her dominance in various statistical categories, including her lead in 20 and 10 games, an impressive feat that placed her above legends like Diana Taurasi. As the dust settled, it was clear that the narrative of Clark being just good, not great, was not holding up under scrutiny. The feud between Liberman and Teague revealed a larger issue within the basketball community: how the WNBA stars, particularly Caitlin Clark, are often undervalued or dismissed by some who fail to see their full potential. While Teague's comments were undoubtedly provocative, they were also part of a broader conversation about how women in sports are perceived and treated. Clark's impact on the court, her ability to break records, and her leadership should not be undermined by misguided opinions. In the end, it was Nancy Liberman who stood firm, unapologetically defending Clark and making her point clear: she's not just good, she's great. This public clash between two former basketball stars highlighted the tension that exists between respect for the women in the WNBA and the ongoing battle to have their talent fully recognized. For Liberman, this wasn't just about a personal defense of Clark, it was about setting the record straight, making sure that the truth about Clark's greatness was heard loud and clear. As the debate continues to unfold, one thing is certain: Liberman has made it clear that any attempt to diminish Clark's talent will not go unchallenged. What do you think about Jeff Teague's comments regarding Caitlin Clark? Do you agree with Liberman's defense of Clark? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on the latest basketball drama. This conversation is far from over, and we're here to keep you updated every step of the way.